Hey, it's Drew Neiser, and I'm here with another Tuesday tip. And this one is really, it's a tough and tricky one. It's how do you make your commitment to sales in terms of what you're going to be delivering, and then how do you make sure that that works? And I'm going to start first with Kevin Ruane, CMO of Precisely. Kevin, what is your tip for sort of setting up the right deal with your sales guys?
Yeah, my tip, Drew, is to have shared goals, to be accountable, get on the same side of the table, to get together. Don't be afraid to be aggressive, and, really embrace the learning from it. You want to fail fast and you want to find what's working and you want to double down on that. So shared goals is a great way to do that.
All right, so we got shared goals, and that's so important because we can't have this sort of, hey, marketing did its job, we handed it over, life is great. So, okay, tip number 2, Rebecca Stone, Cisco Meraki.
I have 2 things. One is honesty first and foremost with your sales leadership so that they know to trust you, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are on your team, and making sure that everybody is on equal footing from there. The second one is to do what every great salesperson does, which is under promise and over deliver.
I love that. Okay, so the honesty portion of that, in what I think what you're saying is being not over committing to something.
Right, making sure that salespeople are not marketers. They don't understand your where your expertise is, and so helping to educate them and being honest on where your problems are on the team and what things you're trying to work on, and making sure that they understand that there is a shared commitment, kind of like exactly what Kevin said.
Awesome. Okay, great. Next up, Khalid from Stack Overflow. Khalid, tell me, what's your tip for improving, managing, setting expectations in the area of sales management and relationship building?
I think that the most important thing, which sounds intuitive, is to align constantly. And I mean, to fully have alignment, but to revisit the goals that you have and the strategy for executing on them on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis. And then related to that point, marketers are great communicators. Salespeople, yes, but maybe in a different way. And so I always think it's incumbent on the marketers to over communicate everything. And by that, I mean every single channel: Slack, email, meetings, memorialize meetings and notes, and ensure that you're always on the same page and there's a record of that.
I love that because the real problem for so long is the lack of alignment between sales and marketing, right? And so what you're saying is don't let it drift. Make sure that weekly that you're checking in, and so that you're locked in. And I imagine that manifests itself when you go in the boardroom and there's no finger pointing. It's you are jointly presenting. Is that a fair interpretation if you're really aligned?
Absolutely. We do it bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. All right. So next up, Dan Frohnen from Sendoso. Dan, tell me, what's your tip in this area?
Yeah, my major tip is take ownership beyond just the handoff of pipeline over to sales. So have a point of view and have a collective goal on what your win rates are by your different segments, whether that's target accounts, whether that's market segments, and then dissect that funnel, because everyone has a place in conversion all the way through your sales stages. And if you show that ownership and that willingness to get down to that level, then you share in the revenue win.
So when you say going, and I love the fact that, again, we're not simply saying, here's your MQL, see ya, because what you're saying is at the end of the day, it's about revenue and closing business for the company. And if something isn't working, you're saying you got to go in there and figure it out. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So Dave Bornmann, bring us home in this area. We've had some great tips so far.
Yeah, mine's actually a little bit of a combination of the relationship is the most important thing. And you really have to demonstrate to the sales team that you're part of them. I feel like, there can't be any light between the two. I attend the weekly sales meeting. It's really important for me both to learn what's going on and to demonstrate to the sales team that I'm there, I'm listening. Some things we might do the previous week aren't working the way we thought. That's okay. What's not working about it, and then make the adjustment and move forward. Metrics are also really important as well. We set conversion rates by sales stage, right? We got to keep our eye on those And, salespeople sometimes are not analytical by nature. So it's a little difficult to get them to stay focused on that, but I think it's our responsibility to keep an eye on it and work with them and identify where there are breakdowns in what we expected to be a conversion, and then really get inside that and peel the layers back to understand what's happening that we weren't expecting to happen, brainstorm together on what we can do to change that dynamic and get that funnel conversion to the levels that we thought they should be.
So what's so interesting about all of these things, we could probably say this was a conversation about sales and marketing alignment at the hip. And I love what you said, Dave, that you just can't allow for any separation, whether we're talking about goals, whether we're talking about each of the steps along the way. One thing that none of you mentioned, which is, hey, get out there and sell yourself, walk in their shoes a little bit and make sure that you've done that so you can see firsthand what they're going through and what challenges are and what role marketing can play to sort of smooth the way for the sale. All right, that's your Tuesday tip. Thank you all.